With the power of the internet, you can be one side hustle away from creating a full-time income in 2023, but which one is the best for you to start? To answer that question, I'll be covering the top 12 side hustles to start this year, all requiring only a few $100 to get going. And not only will you be able to start all of these with a small amount of money, by the end of this video, you'll know 12 side hustles that have the potential to make $500 per day. And I'm throwing in a bonus method at the end on how I make an extra $10,000 per year. First up is starting a phone flipping side hustle. And there are a couple of different routes you can go here. What I've done in the past is I've found broken phones in my area to flip for a profit on eBay, but I was missing out on a lot of profit here. You can take this one step further by buying a $50 phone repair kit. This is not only going to give you more opportunities to buy phones that might be a little bit more expensive if you put in a little TLC, but it's going to give you more margins on the ones that you're already flipping. Now, this is something you can start with as little as $100, and the nicer the phones you get, the more profit you can make. I got these cracked iPhones a few years back, and I ended up paying $5 each for them on a Facebook marketplace deal, and I ended up selling each one anywhere between 40 and 70 bucks, and I believe I walked away from the deal for around $180. And that is on the lower end. There's a lot of potential with these more expensive phones these days, easily making it to where you can make 6 figures per year doing this. If phones weren't for you, then maybe this next electronic side hustle is, and that's starting a side hustle by converting VHS tapes to digital media. Many people have old VHS tapes lying around, whether they're actual movies or they're home movies, and they want that converted either to DVD or stored on a Google Drive. And this isn't difficult to do, but a lot of people just don't want to do it. And this is something I know someone who has personally done this, and they were making a few $1,000s per month, and they actually parlayed that into a now $5 million per year business. Now, this is probably the most expensive one to start on the list because you actually need some equipment here. So you actually need a VHS tape player, you need a camcorder, and then a laptop as well. But once you do that, you can start finding people that want to convert their tapes over. And what he was doing is he was charging $20 per tape, and he said average per job, he was getting around 8 tapes per job. So he was making $160 per person. And he told me that some of his bigger jobs were over $1,000, meaning that you have the potential to make back your original capital after just one job. Now, in terms of how long this takes, it just takes as long as the tape is for it to convert over. So if you have a 30-minute tape, it's going to take you 30 minutes to convert that from a VHS player to the Google Drive. But you can do other things while this is going on. It doesn't require your actual attention, making this one of the best side hustles on the list. Now, if this is something you're interested in, be sure to sign up for my newsletter in the description below. My friend and I will be putting together some kind of starter pack for people that are interested in this, and only a small group of people are actually going to get selected. So be sure to sign up for that down below if this is a side hustle you're interested in. Next is moving on to Turo, a site where you can rent out your car to strangers. Now, yes, you can rent out your own vehicle and make anywhere from $500 to $1,500 per month. But even if you don't have your own vehicle, you can still make a lot of money doing this, and I would argue potentially even more. Many people have vehicles that they don't use each month, costing them money in insurance and other fees. So why not offer people the chance to turn that liability into an asset? When I started this last year, my goal was just to pay for my car insurance and gas each month. And come near the end of January, I'll make about $2,000 profit. And if I were wanting to start Turoing out other people's vehicles, I would start small within my own circle and then start getting referrals through there. And you can even use sites like Nextdoor and Craigslist as well. Just make sure to have a professional website, because I think that's going to help you sell it a little bit better. And to take it even one step further, what I would do is I would start talking to hotels, specifically maybe like bellboys or people at the front desk, and offer them a commission if they were to use your fleet of cars or recommend your fleet of cars out. And that could open up so many more leads. And to make $500 per day or $15K per month doing this, a basic model car, you could make about $1,500 per month, so about $50 per day profit. And if you were splitting the profit doing this, it would take a fleet of 20 cars to make about $500 per day. And that's the theme with the topics on this list, is that the market on these is wide open, and I don't really know how long they're going to stay like that. So if you see any of these that you think are an amazing opportunity, be sure to act on them fast, because they may not be here forever. And if there is one that you really like, definitely don't share this video, because you don't want the secret to get out. Now, number 4, many people have heard of the site Airbnb, but you don't need a property to get started. In fact, you just need an Airbnb account and a camera, and that's about it. Many people have something that they can rent out on Airbnb, whether it be a spare room all the way to a guest house that they don't really use. This can make someone an extra $1,000 a month to over $5,000 a month. It really just depends on what it is and where it's located. And this is where you're going to come in with your new Airbnb side hustle, because you're going to be helping these people list their properties on Airbnb. You're going to be doing all the work, and you get to do this for a fee, of course. Well, if you're thinking, Kris, how am I going to find these people? Well, that's why this is called a side hustle, because you're going to have to hustle to do it. Finding these people could be through word of mouth. It could be going door to door with a business card. It could be posting on sites like Nextdoor or Craigslist, and you're just advertising, helping them, letting them know that they could be making an extra $1,000 per month. And let's do the math. If you have 5 people making $1,000 per month, just $1,000 per month, and you're taking home 50% of that, that's $2,500 per month. And let's say that you have 5 people making $2,000 per month. Well, now you're bringing home $5,000 per month in profit. That's $60K per year from a side hustle. Now, another angle here is you can also list timeshares on Airbnb, and I'm actually helping someone do that right now. We've already sold $1,000 worth of rooms, and I've been able to automate this thing so far. So be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with this side hustle of mine. Next up is domain flipping, or buying web domains to flip for a profit. This is one that I'm currently doing, and I've sold 8 domains, netting me a little over $3,000 right now. And they only cost me about 80 bucks or about $10 for each domain. And the way to do this is just go to domain selling sites like Namecheap and just start looking up domains to see what's available. And the thing here is that you're trying to guess what may have value in the future. So it was about a year ago, I purchased 40 web domains that were in the metaverse niche, and I was betting on the metaverse blowing up in popularity, or just Web3 being more popular coming the next decade. So out of those 40, I've sold 8. I still have 32 domains. I don't know if I'm ever going to sell these domains, but the profits I get from selling these domains, I put back into new websites. From my personal experience, the ones that have worked best for me are websites ending in .com that are less than 2 words. And there is a chance when doing this that if you land the right domain, you can sell it for thousands if the right buyer comes along. Next up is a cutting edge technology, and it's starting a side hustle with ChatGPT. And if you aren't up to date on this, it's pretty mind-blowing what this bot can do. This is a chatbot, and it's brand new technology, and with brand new technology means there will be many ways you can make money. And ChatGPT can do a wide array of things. It can do everything from code to write articles to help decorating your office. But for the sake of this video, we're going to only focus on one way to start a side hustle with it. And that's going to be using ChatGPT to create drop shipping stores to sell items for a profit. Now, you may be thinking, how can we use ChatGPT here for creating drop shipping stores? But the thing is, when it comes to drop shipping, is to really find a good product, it involves testing out a lot of different products along the way. And to build out those landing pages, it takes time. But there's a site called Sidekick AI, and it will provide the product images, text, and website, and build out these landing pages where it could have taken a few hours to minutes. Now, they won't actually find the supplier for your products, but finding dropshipping suppliers is very easy. Just type in whatever product you're interested in into Google, followed by the word dropship, and you'll find a supplier. And a great thing about dropshipping is that you don't actually have to have money for inventory, because you're only buying the inventory once it sells with that person's money, and you get to keep what's left over. Next up is starting a faceless YouTube channel. Faceless YouTube channels is a great side hustle if you want access to one of the best businesses out there, which is YouTube, but you don't want to show your face. And I believe YouTube is almost like the radio in the 1940s. So there could still be another couple of decades before something even bigger comes along and replaces it. And because so many eyeballs are moving over to YouTube, the advertising dollars are as well. So depending on your category and niche, you can make a lot of money from YouTube ad dollars. But what category should you get in? Well, I think it just depends on what you're passionate about. But let's say you want to go in the ambiance channel, right? So those channels that play rain and calm music in the background. You can go to copyright-free music websites such as Epidemic Sounds, find some music that would pair well, or sounds that would pair well with some good visuals. So you need to find some copyright-free visuals. And there are many websites for that, but one example is Pixabay. And then put those two together and then upload it on YouTube. And I think 2 uploads a week in the beginning is good until you build up an audience. And this shouldn't take much time as well, but once you get monetized, monetized, so 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, you can then start making ad revenue. But up until that point, you can make money affiliate marketing on the YouTube channel. Next up, do you like animals? Because starting a pet business is a great side hustle in 2023. There are sites like Rover and Wag.com, just to name a few, where you can do everything from walking people's pets to have them stay the night for if people are traveling. To get started, all you need are some basic pet supplies, maybe a watering bowl, some backup dog food, maybe some toys, and all of this you can get for less than $100. Now, I have a friend who's doing this who's making a little over $3,000 a month doing this, but if you want to make real money doing this, you're going to have to think a bit more creatively. Eventually, you're going to get so many bookings that you're not going to be able to take any more animals. And then what do? Well, you've built up these profiles that have a lot of reviews and people are continually trying to book you. So you want to find people who are also interested in watching pets and making money, and then take a commission. So maybe split the profits 50-50. You're able to get more clients and they're able to get more clients, and it's a win-win for everyone. So imagine if you have $3,000 worth of dogs that you get to watch for a month, and then you have 3 people that are doing that you get to split the profit from. So that's $1,500 per person from a side hustle. How many times have you been driving along the road somewhere and you see a couch with a free sign on it? Flipping couches for profit is something that will never go away, and you can start with $0. Many times people are moving and they just want their couch gone, which is where you come in and you're going to take it off their hands. And even if you don't have a truck or a vehicle that can move these couches, you can rent a vehicle for around $20 to $30. Now, starting with base level couches to make $500 per day, from my research, it's going to take selling about 50 to 60 couches per month. But once you start moving to some more expensive models, you should be able to do this with less effort. And I was at a conference and I met a guy who does this specifically in Florida, and he actually documents everything on YouTube. I'm going to leave his channel down below. Really awesome channel if you want to get into the couch flipping game. Now, flipping couches is one side hustle, but on the other end of that is flipping sneakers. And I've actually dabbled in this myself before, but I have a friend who's been doing this for the last 3 years, and he makes over 6 figures a year just flipping shoes. I've actually brought him on the channel before. Now, there are really 2 routes you can go with this business model. Now, a lot of hyped sneaker drops only have limited quantities, and it's about trying to find the ones that will be sought after that you can resell on these third-party marketplaces, and usually that takes some research. Now, I ended up doing this back in 2017, and I bought 40 pairs of the sneaker that Gary Vee dropped, and I ended up making about double the money that I put in. And you can start this with less than $200, but there's a less talked about way online as well, and that's by finding used shoes in thrift stores and on Facebook Marketplace, and then reselling them on Mercari, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace as well. This is actually something the YouTubers Renzi now do, and I saw these guys when they first started. They were just starting with a few pairs of shoes, and now they have an entire warehouse, and this is all that they do. They spend a lot of time cleaning their shoes, I've noticed, but they've steadily reinvested back into their business, and now they have a few employees as well. Now, for a bonus, I make $10,000 a year credit card churning and signing up for savings accounts that have online bonuses, but it takes a little money in order to do this. You're not going to want to do this if you're starting out with just $200, but once you get some money coming in, it's good to spend your business expenses on credit cards. I always have a sign-on bonus, and I get 10% back on everything that I spend all the time. And right now I make about $600 per month on just that. And then I sign up for a savings account where I make about $300. And right now Amex has a promotion where if you deposit $5,000, they'll give you $600 back after 60 days. So right now I'm making just under $10,000 per year cycling between these two things. But I think the most important thing with all of these is just pick one and don't get shiny object syndrome. But if you want to see my 14 income streams, the ones that I'm using to make income every single month, check it out in this video right here.